Good morning, everyone. Ryan Wright, GIS Specialist, here to present to you on supporting SDGs across the Pacific via GIS. A bit of background, the Pacific is over 30 million square kilometres in area, approximately 30,000 remote islands, over 12 million people. Excluding PNG, 90% of Pacific Islanders live within 5 kilometres of the coast. It has the world's largest tuna fishery, valuing at $4 billion per year, and a number of threatened and endangered species. There are a number of regional agencies across the Pacific, and they play an important role in developing collective regional responses to critical issues for countries. They assist countries address national and regional priorities, including the SDGs, the Secretariat of the Pacific Regional Environment Program, SPREP, and member countries will be the focus of this presentation. You can search about the regional agencies online, a lot of information at DFAT. I'll just move this up here. All right, so who are SPREP? SPREP is the Pacific's regional agency for the environment. There's 21 nations it looks after, or works with, sorry, and has 5 regional offices. The main one being Samoa, that big green dot, and satellite offices in Fiji, Vanuatu, Solomon Islands, and Micronesia. There are a number of divisions at SPREP: Climate Change Division, Ecosystem and Biodiversity Management, Waste Management and Pollution Control, Environmental Monitoring and Governance Division, where I worked. It also houses UNEP, the UN's environmental program. They're a key partner of ours, and they're here at the campus, as you can see below. That's nestled in the hill in up here in Samoa. You'll also see my car park in my 4 years there. I don't think I'll ever get a car park as good as that again. What is the problem? Countries need to meet their national, regional environmental commitments, including the UN SDGs, CBDH targets, multilateral environmental agreements, state of environment reporting, and a number of government goals and strategies. You'll see here they're the main SDGs that were addressed in my time or worked towards on a number of my projects. And you'll also see I've highlighted SDG 14, Life Below Water. The predecessors to this were the Millennial Development Goals, and they didn't have an ocean goal, so that's good to see. A number of these commitments require a degree of location intelligence, and the capacity to undertake this work may be limited or even little understood. How geospatial programs can assist countries achieve these commitments, and I find this issue just isn't relevant to the Pacific. It's relevant across the world. The 3 big ideas / solutions implemented to directly address these issues in the Pacific while I was there. 1, development and execution of geospatial projects to directly assist countries work towards these targets. 2, capacity development training in GIS, GPS, data acquisition and data management. And 3, development of online GIS systems and infrastructure that can directly assist countries. All right. Solution 1, geospatial projects, marine spatial planning. Aim was to assist countries to undertake a number of integrated planning projects in the marine sector. These efforts require working with countries to perform a number of spatial analyses. Many are first of their kind, which I'll show you on the next page, but these are a number of our key partners and the number of SDG, number of marine spatial planning projects we were undertaking that work towards a number of these targets, goals that they've all signed up to. So this is the analysis. So analysis looking at interactions between shipping, fishing, deep sea mining and environmentally sensitive areas in key locations across the Pacific. Just move that, including 1 feature below in PNG. And here you'll see a map of PNG in the ocean environment. You'll see a number of sectors and environmental issues overlapping. This analysis was used by the PNG government to support developing the Pacific's first particularly sensitive sea area, PSSA. PSSAs are areas that need special protection through action by the International Marine Organization, IMO. Move this back up here. More geospatial projects, the Protected Area Program. The aim of this program was to assist countries correctly map and store all their terrestrial and marine protected or marine protected or management areas, they're also called. There were a number of major issues with the current data sets and databases. One, erroneous and incomplete data sitting within the World Database of Protected Areas. That's an IUCN database program that is looking to map the whole world's protected areas in one single location. And two, existing protected areas and marine protected areas / marine management areas that officially exist but are unmapped. So they are registered with the government, but there's no spatial data associated with them. Just note the SDG goals we were working towards in this program was 14 and 15. So here, for example, here's some of the issues at a glance. This is Vanuatu, and this is the World Database of Protected Areas. This is from their database. So here it shows there's only 22 registered areas, and in Vanuatu there are a lot more. And these of the 22 areas, many areas are incorrect. And as you can see, one is positioned 3,200 kilometers to the north of Vanuatu. The solution here was to directly work with countries to complete accurate GIS data sets and set up local and regional GIS databases. Okay, solution 2, capacity development and training programs. Capacity development trainings within country were undertaken to build local capacity to address SDGs and other targets, focusing on GIS training, mainly around data analysis and visualizations, using free open source software programs including QGIS. And here you see doing a bit of training in Nauru. You find with the trainings that you're there to work with the environment sector, but you'll get fisheries, transport, energy, everyone coming in to do a bit of capacity development and learn GIS. So there's a lot of interest in the Pacific, in our area of specific area of interest. GPS and data collection training was also run mainly around requests to tag along with GIS trainings. Here you see some GPS training in Samoa. Marine spatial planning workshops. These trainings existed within marine spatial planning projects when in country. As you can see, learning about spatial data or developing spatial data doesn't always have to involve technology. You can start off by simply drawing on a map and get an idea of the areas, then transfer to more technical aspects later through GIS and whatnot. And school open days. Look, capacity development exists in all forms, and I think these sort of learning programs with schools around the environment and spatial data and the value you can have is quite important, and also the kids love it. Solution 3, development of an online GIS portal. SPREP worked with developers at CSIRO and sister agency SBC to develop a web-based GIS application and platform. It was to be open access, an open access regional GIS database using open source components. It was to be replicatable for use by countries if they wanted to develop their own, and other regional agencies. SBC have one already, hence why we engaged them. Usability was a focus, and it had to be secure. The outcome was a free open source spatial data infrastructure platform, Geonode, that enabled spatial data dissemination and visualization to member nations and project partners. Here you see the Geonode simplified architecture composing of PostGIS, GIS Server, and open layers. The gis.sprep.org user interface can be seen there. That's all the fishing density from the Pacific. So in conclusion, the Pacific Island nations continue to work together with available resources to achieve targets, goals, and other commitments. Free open source geospatial software enables countries to access the geospatial tools and infrastructure they need readily and confidently. A number of top-down and bottom-up approaches can assist countries developing the capacity they need to address their commitments and priorities. That concludes my presentation. So Vinaka Vakalevu and Fafatai Telelava.